Rachel Clinton is examined. Here's the Salem Witch-Hunt Daily Report for Saturday, March 30th, 2024. On March 30th, 1692, Rachel Clinton's initial examination by magistrates was scheduled to occur. However, no examination notes have survived. Thomas Burnham Jr., Mary Fuller Sr., and Thomas Knowlton Jr. were deposed against Rachel Clinton. Thomas Burnham Jr. testified. This deposition of Thomas Burnham Sr., age 47, this deponent testifieth and saith that some women of worth and quality desired me to acquaint the 7 men that Rachel Clinton was a great disturber unto them in the meeting house, in hunching them with her elbow, as they went by her, said Clinton. And then the same day there the said Burnham desired the 7 men to take some care the Rachel Clinton might be forewarned not to come into those women's house, no more to disturb them. And as I, the said Burnham, was writing home, as I, the said Burnham, was writing home that night after I had been with the selectmen, I saw something appear at French's Cove before me like a cat as I apprehended, and then I looked wistfully upon it, and it seemed to be something like a little dog. And then I pursued it, and it kept the same distance in the path before me. Although I rode hard after it, I could not overtake it. Then I looked once to my right hand, and I saw a great circle that moved as fast as I rode along. And then I thought of Rachel Clinton. Then the little creature and the circle vanished away, and further saith naught. Mary Fuller Sr. testified. The deposition of Mary Fuller Sr., aged about 41 years, saith about the 23rd or 24th of last March, 1692, about 10 of the clock, Rachel Clinton came to our house and charged me with raising lies of her about my daughter and Mary Thorne. And while she said Rachel was drawing, my brother Joseph Fuller's boy came in and said their Betty was fall down dead. And this was, as she said Rachel passed by her, a coming to our house, and further run up to my brother Joseph Fuller's house for the space of 3 hours without any motion of life. And before said Betty or Elizabeth Hutching could speak, I get her hold up her hand if said Rachel was the cause of it, and she did. And when she could speak, she said the woman with a white cape passed by and struck her on the forehead. Thomas Knowlton testified. The deposition of Thomas Knowlton, aged 50 years, saith that about 3 weeks ago that Mr. John Rogers and his wife were gone to Boston, that Rachel, the wife of Lord Clinton, that is now suspected to be a witch, went to Mr. Rogers' house and told Mr. Rogers' maid that she must have some meat and milk. And the said Rachel went into several rooms of the said house, as Mr. Rogers' maid told me, and then sent for me, this deponent, to get her away out of the house. And when I came into the house, there was Rachel Clinton, and when she saw me come in, she, the said Rachel, went away, scolding and railing, calling of me the said Thomas hellhound and whore-masterly rogue, and said I was a limb of the devil. And she said she had rather see the devil than see me, the said Thomas, and that Samuel Ayres and Thomas Smith Taylor can testify to the same language that Rachel used or called the said Knowlton. And after this, the said Rachel took up a stone and threw it towards me, and it fell short 3 or 4 yards from me, said Knowlton, and so came rolling to me, and just touched the toe of my shoe. And presently my great toe was in a great rage, as if the nail were held up by a pair of pincers, up by the roots. And further the said Thomas Knowlton testifieth and saith that about 3 months ago that my daughter Mary died, and cried out in a dreadful manner that she was pricked of her side with pins, as she thought. Being asked who pricked her, she said she could not tell. And when she was out of her fits, I, this deponent, asked her whether she gave Rachel any pins, and she said she gave Rachel about 7. She said she gave Rachel about 7, and after this, she had one more fit of April 4th, 1692, being pricked. And then there came into our house Cornelius Kent and John Best, and saw Mary Knowlton in a solemn condition, crying as if she would be pricked to death. And then said Kent and Best and my son Thomas went over and threatened said Rachel that if ever she pricked said Mary Knowlton again, they would knock out her brains. And ever since, my girl hath been well. That's been the Salem Witch-Hunt Daily Report for Saturday, March 30th, 2024. Have a great today and a beautiful tomorrow.